Being away from God is sheer hell. I cannot remember even a day when I did not feel some divine consolation. Sometimes, of course, interruptions occur and then I feel bad. It is then that I understand how horrible are the lives of most people who do not have this experience because they have distanced themselves from God. The more one strays from God, the worse things become. You see, you may have nothing, but if you have God, you have everything. That's it. On the contrary, one who has everything but lacks God feels tormented inside. That's why it is important to get as close to God as possible. It is only when we get close to Him that we can find true and eternal joy. We taste bitter poison when we live apart from sweet Jesus. When a sinful man becomes a man of God again, he is like a prince who is being fed with divine bliss, with heavenly sweetness, and he feels the exaltation of paradise. Even though he lives on earth, he senses a small part of the joy of paradise. Every day that goes by, this paradisiacal joy of his grows bigger and leads him to wonder whether there is something higher in heaven than what he experiences here on earth. So overwhelmed is his soul that he cannot do any work. Divine warmth and sweetness makes his knees bend as if they were candlesticks. His heart leaps and wants to fly out of his chest, because earth and all things earthly appear worthless to him. In the beginning, man had communion with God, but then he moved away from the divine grace. Since then, he is like one who once lived in a palace and was then banished from it. And now, seeing it from a distance, he weeps in sorrow. Just as a child suffers when it is away from its mother, so we suffer great anguish when we are away from God. Being away from God is sheer hell. So successful has the devil been in keeping people away from God, that he had reached the point of worshipping idols and sacrificing even their children to them. It's horrible. Where did the demons find all these deities, like the god Chemosh? Just hearing his name is enough. But the devil is the most tormented being of all, because he is the farthest removed from God, from love. When love leaves, all that is left is hell. What is the opposite of love? Evil. And evil equals suffering. A person who has distanced himself from God receives demonic influence. By contrast, a person who is close to God receives divine grace. To one who already has the grace of God, even more will be given. And to one who has a bit of God's grace and scorns it, even that bit will be taken away. The grace of God is missing for most people today because by sinning, they throw away whatever small portion of it they have. And when divine grace departs from a person, the demons rush to make their home inside him. Analogous with their withdrawal from God, people feel tormented in this life. So in the next life, they will live in eternal torment. If we live our lives according to the will of God, we will, in a way, start tasting the joys of paradise in this life. Either we will experience a portion of the heavenly joy here on earth and go to paradise, or we will experience a portion of hell and, God forbid, end up in hell. Paradise equals goodness. Hell equals evil. When we do something good, we feel joy. When we stray from the good, we suffer. The more good we do, the more exaltation we feel. The more evil we do, the more our souls suffer. Can a thief feel real joy? He cannot. But one who helps others is full of joy. If a person finds something on the street and keeps it for himself, because he says it is rightfully his, he will not find peace. He does not know to whom it belongs. He has not harmed anyone by keeping it, and certainly he has not taken it from its owner. But he still feels that something is wrong. Imagine if he had actually stolen it. We feel much more joy when we give a gift than when we receive one. Imagine then what happens when we steal or act unjustly. Can a person who steals or acts unjustly really feel joy? This is why the people who live unjust lives have such strained grimaces on their faces.